Hi, my name is Tori Dillon, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about how to pay for college because if you haven't heard, it's pretty expensive. Here's the current cost of tuition for a few universities in Utah. And so to find the total amount of what you would pay to attend for 4 years, you'll just multiply the annual cost listed here by 4. This means if you want to attend like the University of Utah for 4 years with a full normal course load, you'll end up paying around $36,000. Which, if you're like me, you probably don't have that much money just laying around. So the big question is, how do you afford to go to college? There are 4 basic ways. The first is working, where you work to earn your own money to pay for school. Then there's also loans, where you borrow money that you then have to pay back to help pay for school. Scholarships, which are just free money given to you because of academic success, extracurriculars, your interests, or a million other things. There are a lot of ways to earn scholarships. And the last way that we're going to talk about today is grants, which are also free money given to you generally because of demonstrated financial need. Before I talk about each of those ways to pay for school, one really important thing to know about is FAFSA, something you're going to be hearing a lot about in the next few years. FAFSA stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. It's pretty quick to fill out once you have everything put together. The important thing is to have everything put together before you start. As long as you're a dependent of your parents or guardians, that means a dependent on their taxes, you'll need their tax information from the previous tax year. This is generally done your senior year, so it's just something you should be aware of at this point. Just kind of put it in the back of your mind for the next couple years. And FAFSA is really important because you have to fill it out to be able to do things like federal work study, to receive any federal grants, and to receive some university scholarships, and it is a requirement for federal student loans. What you actually need to remember about FAFSA right now is that it's important and you'll need to fill it out, but not for a few years, so just kind of keep it in the back of your mind. Know that it's something that's going to come up. So, one of the most obvious ways to pay for school is through working. Some jobs do allow 14-year-olds to work, so you could start as early as this year. The hardest part about working is not spending all of your money right away, and it's important that you put money aside each paycheck to start to save for college, especially if you don't think you'll have other help to pay for college, like grants or scholarships or money from your parents, however you think you might get other money. I personally started working pretty early as a babysitter until I could get a real job, and then I worked all through college to help pay for everything. It was really hard sometimes to balance work and school, but it also meant that I could graduate without any debt or student loans. Beyond just the normal student jobs like at stores and food places, the federal work study program is something that can be really helpful when you get to college. On the FAFSA application, you get to choose if you want to be eligible for work study, which is literally just clicking a box on the application. And work study jobs are typically on campus, which is really awesome and convenient because they're right there where you're already going to class. And the employers are typically really great to work around your school schedule, so you don't ever have to worry about them scheduling you during one of your classes or a lab or something like that. One other thing you're going to hear a lot about is student loans. The most important thing to remember about student loans is that it's borrowed money that you will have to pay back, typically with interest added on. This means that if you took out a student loan of like $20,000 for 10 years, you would have to pay back almost $28,000 total with interest. So about $8,000 just in interest. With that in mind, it's really important to remember to not borrow more than you absolutely need to. So don't go crazy thinking, oh, I'm going to get a new cell phone this year and a really nice computer and headphones and really nice clothes. Don't go crazy. You're going to be a poor college student. That's totally fine. So that being said, if the only way you're going to be able to get to college is by using student loans, I definitely think it's a good idea to use them. A lot of people do, and a lot of people are really successful in paying them back. Just be careful that you don't borrow more than you'll be able to repay. So if you're going to get an art degree, for example, Don't go crazy and take out hundreds of thousands of dollars of loans. If you're going to do something like engineering or business, then it's more okay to take out a bit more because you're likely going to make more after you graduate. One way to get free money that you don't have to pay back is through grants. These are typically given because of financial need. And to qualify for federal grants, you'll need to fill out the FAFSA, which you already needed to fill out for loans if you're taking them, or for work study, or potentially for scholarships as well. So just go ahead and fill it out, get it all done with. In order to maximize the amount of grant money that you can possibly receive, it's best to apply for FAFSA early because there's only a fixed amount of money that the government has to award these grants. After you've completed your FAFSA, they'll send the money directly to your school, so you don't even have to worry about keeping track of it or submitting it or how that works. I think when I received my Pell Grants, which is another kind of federal grant, it took a couple weeks for everything to process and for Utah State University to receive my grant money. So just keep that in mind when you are applying for them. If you apply too close to the time when your tuition is due, sometimes that means that you'll have to pay with your own money, your tuition, and then get reimbursed with the grant money later. So if you're a poor college student like I was and am, it's really important to apply for those things early so that you don't have to worry about how am I going to pay my tuition if my grant takes a long time to come through. Another way to get free money for school is through scholarships. There are a million ways to get scholarships, so I'm just going to talk about a few. Just know that if you have an interest, it's probably something that you can get a scholarship for. One of the easiest ways to earn scholarships is through the school that you attend, the university. Based on things like your grades, the classes you took in school, and your ACT or SAT scores, you can receive merit-based scholarships, which are academic-based scholarships. You can also receive scholarships because of sports or other extracurricular activities during high school, or because of volunteering that you completed, or just things that you did during high school. A lot of places that you or your parents or guardians work also offer scholarships. For example, my dad's company holds a scholarship competition each year for employees' children, and through that scholarship competition, I received a scholarship of $1,500 each year for 2 years, which was a really big help, especially because my second year I studied abroad, which is expensive, and this scholarship made a really big difference. Once you're in college, there are also scholarships you can apply for through like your department or organizations you're involved in. I got a couple of scholarships through the honors program at Utah State. There are also things for clubs that you get involved in. Really, anything that you do in college has the potential to have a scholarship attached to it. So, and there are a ton of ways to apply for scholarships, so go ahead and start doing that now. I'm going to post some links in the comments section so that if you want to get started on that, these are some scholarships that you can start applying for today, especially, which is a really great idea when we're released from school and you've got a lot of free time. This is an easy way to earn a couple $1,000s without doing a ton of extra work. One thing that several colleges throughout Utah use is called the Scholarship Index. This one is Southern Utah Universities, and these indices use your GPA for all 4 years of high school, which is called your cumulative GPA, as well as your ACT or SAT scores to determine which scholarship to give you. You literally don't have to do anything extra beyond just applying for that school, which you already did, to receive these scholarships. So you don't have to write any essays or record any personal videos or do any of that kind of stuff. So in this example, let's say you did really well in school and had a 3.9 cumulative GPA. You also did pretty well on the ACT and earned a 30 out of 36. If you follow the arrows, this puts you at an index score of 129, which means you qualify for a President's Scholarship, which is full tuition for 4 years. Let's do one more example, just so you kind of know what we're doing on here. This time, let's say you did okay in school and ended with a 2.8 GPA, a little less than a B average. You also did pretty well on your ACT and earned a 28. This puts your index score as 106, which qualifies you for a $500 per semester scholarship, which is $4,000 that you're saving over 4 years. So the big question is, what do I do now? This is great information, but what does it mean for me? The first thing you should do is go to every class every day on time. Obviously, you're not physically going to class because of coronavirus, but log in every day to Canvas, check what you need to do, get that done. The easiest way to do well in school is to be in school doing what you're supposed to. The next thing you should do is turn in your homework. It's really hard to get good grades if you're not giving something to your teachers to be graded. So do that. Next, ask questions if you don't understand things. Your teachers don't think less of you if you ask questions. They don't think you're dumb. They want to help you. So use that resource, being your teacher, and ask them what you don't understand. If you're embarrassed to ask your teacher, come talk to me, come talk to your counselor, come talk to another trusted adult in the building. We're happy to help you. We want you to succeed. Next, get a job and start saving for school. It doesn't have to be right now, but start thinking, when I turn 15 or 16, this is somewhere that I want to work. This is how I want to save money so that I can afford to go to college. Next, start researching the schools that you want to go to so that you know what they want. If you want to go to the University of Utah, you're probably going to need higher grades than if you go to like Salt Lake Community College. If you go to Utah State University, you're going to need housing because you're not going to be able to live at home because Logan is an hour and a half away. So just kind of look and see what fits in with what you want from a school so that you know what you need to do. And finally, start applying for scholarships. I am going to post a couple links in the comments section, like I said. So click on those links, start applying for those. Even if it takes you an hour to fill out an essay for a $1,000 scholarship and you get it, you just made $1,000 an hour. That's probably better than most of our parents are making. And it's free money. So that's a really good way to help pay for college and take kind of the stress off of yourself of paying for college because it is hard. And finally, if you have any questions, please contact me. I am available all the time. I want to talk to you guys. I want to help you guys. Go ahead and send me an email. You can call me. I typically prefer email, but however you want to talk to me, please do. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.